The moment the cameras rolled for Jimmy Kimmel's late-night show, no one expected fireworks. Melania Trump, former First Lady, had agreed to an exclusive appearance, her first in years. The air was thick with anticipation. Viewers worldwide tuned in, hoping for a rare glimpse into the post-White House life of the famously reserved Mrs. Trump. What unfolded, however, shocked the audience and quickly became one of the most talked-about interviews of the year. Melania Trump stepped onto the set in a sleek cream-colored suit, her trademark poise intact. From the start, it was clear this wasn't going to be just another interview. Kimmel opened with light humor, but something about his tone seemed off. Melania maintained her calm demeanor, but tension subtly brewed beneath the surface. The clash between the polished former First Lady and the sardonic host was about to erupt. Kimmel, known for his provocative questions, soon turned the conversation toward Melania's White House years. With a sarcastic grin, he asked, "Did you ever actually want to be First Lady? Or was it more of a contract obligation?" The audience gasped, unsure whether to laugh or stay silent. Melania's smile tightened. This wasn't the line of questioning she had agreed to, and her body language began to shift. Melania responded with grace but firm resolve. "I took my role seriously and with honor," she said. Kimmel, unfazed, pressed on. He brought up memes, mocked her Be Best campaign, and even referenced internet conspiracies. Melania's expression hardened. Her voice remained composed, but her clipped answers spoke volumes. It was no longer a conversation. It was becoming an interrogation, and the tension was palpable. The turning point came when Kimmel quipped, "Do you ever miss the days of being in Trump Tower, far from the chaos your husband stirred up daily?" Melania froze. Her eyes narrowed slightly, and the pause that followed was deafening. She replied curtly, "I'm not here to discuss my husband's politics. This was supposed to be about my foundation." The audience murmured, sensing the atmosphere had changed. Instead of dialing back, Kimmel doubled down. "But Melania," he said, "you were part of the most chaotic presidency in modern history. Surely, that left some scars." At that moment, Melania removed her microphone, rose from her seat, and said simply, "I think we're done here." The studio fell into stunned silence as she walked off stage. Cameras kept rolling, but no one quite knew what to do. In the minutes following her exit, producers scrambled behind the scenes. Jimmy Kimmel, visibly flustered, attempted to joke it off. "Well, that went well," he chuckled nervously. But the damage was done. Social media exploded. Hashtags like Melania storms off and Kimmel meltdown began trending. Viewers demanded answers. Was it scripted? Or had Kimmel pushed too far and caused an international stir? Clips of the moment went viral within hours. Major news outlets picked up the story, each offering a different spin. Some praised Melania for standing her ground. Others criticized her for walking out of a legitimate interview. Kimmel faced a wave of backlash, accused of crossing the line with a guest who had appeared in good faith. The debate raged on. Behind the scenes, insiders revealed that Melania's team had provided a list of pre-approved topics. The agreement was clear: focus on her charity work, avoid political jabs. Kimmel allegedly agreed but veered off script for the sake of ratings. This breach of trust, according to Melania's aides, was what led to the sudden exit. Trust had been broken in front of millions. For Melania, the incident marked a rare moment of vulnerability in public. Known for her tightly controlled image and rare interviews, her decision to walk off was unprecedented. Supporters hailed it as an act of strength. Critics claimed it showed she couldn't handle tough questions. Either way, it revealed a rawness not often seen from the former First Lady. Meanwhile, Jimmy Kimmel faced mounting pressure. Late-night hosts thrive on controversy, but this time, even some of his fans said he had gone too far. An online petition called for an apology. Others defended his right to ask difficult questions. It became a cultural flashpoint, another battle in America's never-ending war between political camps. Political commentators weighed in, with some suggesting this could damage Kimmel's reputation permanently. Others believed it would blow over quickly. On conservative media, Melania was portrayed as a victim of Hollywood bias. Liberal voices accused her of playing the martyr. The polarized reactions only added fuel to the fire. Amidst the chaos, Melania released a short statement. "I believe in civil discourse and mutual respect. When those are absent, I will not participate." It was short, sharp, and deliberate. The message was clear: she felt ambushed, and she wanted the public to know it. It wasn't about dodging criticism. It was about setting boundaries. Kimmel, on the other hand, tried to clarify his position during the next night's show. He said, "My job is to ask questions, sometimes uncomfortable ones. "I didn't mean to offend, but I stand by my approach." He didn't apologize, which only deepened the divide. Was it journalistic courage or poor judgment? Opinions were split. The incident reignited discussions about media responsibility. Should late-night shows stick to comedy or hold public figures accountable? Does entertainment blur the lines of journalism? Melania's appearance and subsequent exit sparked a national conversation that went beyond the clip itself. It touched on respect, boundaries, and the ethics of televised discourse. Interestingly, this wasn't the first clash between Melania and Kimmel. Years earlier, he mocked her accent and parenting style during a White House Easter event. At the time, she called for a boycott of his show. The tension between them had simmered for years, and this latest interview was merely the boiling point. Supporters of Melania argued she had grown into her public role over the years and deserved more respect. "She's not just someone's wife," one commentator said. "She's a former first lady who championed causes like cyberbullying. That counts for something." Others dismissed her legacy as largely ceremonial, fueling the ongoing debate. As the days passed, both camps stood firm. Melania kept a low profile, while Kimmel resumed his usual programming. The moment, however, lingered. It served as a reminder of how emotionally charged even a simple interview can become in the modern media landscape. Every word is dissected, every look analyzed. Some media analysts noted the incident may have helped Melania more than it hurt her. The walkout earned her a wave of sympathy, especially from undecided or apolitical viewers. In an era of overexposure, her refusal to engage in spectacle struck a chord with those tired of media theatrics. For Kimmel, the fallout might lead to more cautious guest interactions moving forward. He remains a staple of late-night television, but this incident proved that even seasoned hosts can miscalculate. The line between humor and hostility is thinner than it seems, especially in a polarized America. Ultimately, the interview's collapse wasn't just a celebrity moment. It was a cultural Rorschach test. Everyone saw something different in it: disrespect, strength, cowardice, or courage. And that's why it resonated. It wasn't about Melania or Kimmel alone. It was about how we perceive truth, civility, and power in today's world. As the dust settles, one thing is clear: Melania Trump's departure from the Jimmy Kimmel set wasn't just about one night. It symbolized a broader fatigue with media ambushes, performative interviews, and blurred ethical lines. Whether you applaud her or criticize her, her silent stand spoke volumes, and it won't be forgotten anytime soon. In the days that followed, Melania's name dominated news cycles. Political analysts discussed her future, wondering if this appearance had been part of a larger strategy. Some speculated she was testing the waters for a more public role, maybe even a memoir or foundation relaunch. If that was the plan, the fallout from the Kimmel show certainly made an impact, possibly bigger than she or her team anticipated. Former White House insiders chimed in with their takes. One aide claimed Melania was always wary of mainstream media and disliked unscripted situations. Her Kimmel appearance had been a gamble, encouraged by new advisors hoping to soften her image. She was told this would be safe, the source said. When it wasn't, she shut it down. That's who she is: controlled, precise, and unapologetic when crossed. Public opinion remained deeply divided. On conservative platforms, Melania's actions were celebrated. Memes declared her the only Trump with dignity. Right-wing commentators accused Kimmel of ambushing a guest in bad faith. On the flip side, liberal outlets argued Melania simply couldn't handle criticism. They pointed to her past silence on key issues, calling her reaction an attempt to avoid accountability. The controversy also sparked a broader conversation about the role of women in media. Was Melania treated unfairly because of her gender, or was she hiding behind it? Some feminists said the interview exposed a double standard. Male political figures are expected to defend themselves, while women walking away are seen as strong. Others said walking off wasn't strength, but evasion. Media watchdog groups weighed in, too. The incident prompted discussions on how interviews are negotiated behind the scenes. Most viewers don't realize how much content is pre-approved, staged, or choreographed. When a host strays from that agreement, the result can be volatile. Kimmel's team denied violating any terms, but Melania's camp insisted there was a breach. Meanwhile, late-night comedy found itself at a crossroads. Shows like Kimmel's have increasingly blurred the line between entertainment and politics. This interview underscored the risks of that approach. Comedians are expected to make people laugh, but what happens when the joke lands like a punch? For some, it's entertainment. For others, it's an abuse of the platform. 29. In a rare twist, even foreign media picked up the story. From London to Tokyo, headlines read, Melania walks out, talk show turns tense, and former First Lady storms offstage. International observers were fascinated by the spectacle, especially in countries where political figures are less accessible. The idea of a First Lady clashing with a comedian was uniquely American and deeply symbolic. In response to mounting curiosity, a behind-the-scenes clip leaked. It showed Melania backstage moments before the interview began. She looked calm but slightly guarded. A voice, allegedly a producer, can be heard reassuring her, "We're staying light, just sticking to the charity stuff." That clip gave more weight to her side of the story and fueled criticism of the show's handling. Among the more surprising reactions was that of Donald Trump. He posted on Truth Social, praising Melania for walking away with class from a nasty, disrespectful little man. Predictably, his message stirred even more drama. Kimmel made a joke about it the next night, turning Trump's comment into a punchline, further deepening the divide between both camps. A few celebrities also joined the debate. Some actors voiced support for Melania, calling out Kimmel for what they saw as bullying. Others said she was trying to rebrand herself without taking responsibility for the Trump presidency. The entertainment industry, normally united on issues, seemed split on this one. Everyone had an opinion, and no two were exactly the same. Over the next week, YouTube exploded with reaction videos. Political commentators, body language experts, and former journalists all weighed in. Some analyzed her expressions frame by frame, while others debated the ethics of ambushing a guest. For content creators, the incident was a goldmine, and for Melania and Kimmel, it was inescapable. Amid the noise, some asked a simple question: why did Melania go on the show at all? The answer likely lies in rebranding. After years of media silence, she may have wanted to redefine her public image, focus on her charity, and distance herself from Trump-era controversies. But the show's tone didn't allow that. Instead of a soft reset, she got hard exposure. Melania's foundation, which focuses on child welfare and online safety, saw a brief uptick in donations following the event. Supporters rallied behind her, feeling she had been mistreated. Ironically, the very exposure she seemed to seek, awareness for her foundation, came not through dialogue, but through walking away. In this strange twist, silence spoke louder than speeches. Jimmy Kimmel continued to address the fallout in his monologues. He alternated between sarcasm and genuine defensiveness. "Next time, I'll interview a puppy," he joked. Yet beneath the humor, there was clear tension. This incident reminded everyone how easily the role of a talk show host can shift from entertainer to antagonist in a matter of minutes. Backstage sources claimed Kimmel was surprised by the walkout. He expected her to push back, not leave, said one staffer. Some on the production team reportedly warned that the tone was too aggressive, but others argued it would make great TV. And it did, but at what cost? That's the question still being asked. In the academic world, the moment entered media studies classrooms. Professors used it as a case study in interview ethics, power dynamics, and gendered communication. Students debated whether Melania had been mistreated or whether she used the moment to create a viral escape. Either way, the clip had become more than just gossip, it was educational. A few weeks later, late-night ratings showed a spike around the incident. Viewership increased, but not everyone saw that as a win. Critics said the show had traded integrity for attention. Kimmel gained numbers but lost some credibility. For Melania, it was the opposite: fewer appearances, but more control over her narrative. Online forums buzzed with conspiracy theories. Some believed the walkout was planned, a coordinated PR move. Others thought it was an honest reaction. One theory even claimed it was a setup to distract from larger political issues. As usual, the internet did what it does best: turn speculation into spectacle. Eventually, the media storm began to fade. A new scandal took center stage, and the cycle moved on. But the clip remained online, still racking up millions of views. It became one of those cultural bookmarks, a moment frozen in time, endlessly reinterpreted and rewatched. For Melania Trump, the path forward remained uncertain. She returned to her usual privacy, issuing no further interviews. Some say she had achieved her goal, reminding the world she could still command attention. Others say she had burned a bridge. Either way, she walked away with headlines, not handshakes. Kimmel also returned to normal programming, but the episode lingered in his legacy. It joined a long list of controversial interviews, from Kanye to Cruz to Melania. The job of a host, it turns out, is more dangerous than it looks. One wrong question, and the world's watching not to laugh, but to judge. As the dust finally settled, one truth became clear: This wasn't about a simple interview gone wrong. It was about control, over image, over narrative, over reputation. Melania refused to give that power away. Whether you admire her or not, she made a move that will be studied, remembered, and debated for years. In the end, the Melania Kimmel clash became more than viral content. It became a reflection of the world we live in. A place where humor meets politics, where media and power collide, and where silence can be the loudest voice in the room. The conversation may be over, but the story, in many ways, has only just begun. In conclusion, the Melania Kimmel incident has transcended its momentary shock value to become a symbol of the modern media landscape. It illustrates how tightly controlled public personas can unexpectedly rebel against unscripted scrutiny. Whether viewed as a stand for dignity or a strategic withdrawal, the episode has sparked ongoing debate about power, respect, and authenticity in media discourse. Ultimately, the conversation endures, challenging us to reconsider the balance between public image and private integrity.